and kind of talk about something I've been going through for quite a while. There are a couple things I wanted to come on here and kind of just talk about and discuss. If you don't know me, or if you don't know like my story, you don't read my blogs, then you kind of don't know exactly the kinds of things that I go through. But I have a lot of patches, not patches, but like a lot of ups and downs, which I think is normal for like a teen girl, where like one day I'll feel great and then the next I'm feeling really bad about myself, and the next I'm like, oh whatever, you know, I'm fine, like I'm just in the middle. But recently, like for the last probably 5 days, maybe a week, I've kind of felt like I'm in a funk. I'm new at a school, I'm a senior, and I just moved from Minnesota to Florida, and I started in a new school after having done public school, kindergarten through the first 2 weeks of 11th grade, and then I did online school for the rest of 11th grade. Started off online in 12th grade, and then ended up switching to public school when I moved to Florida. Just kind of like this whole transition has definitely thrown me into a spiral, like moving, leaving my friends, leaving the house I grew up in, starting in a new school and not having any friends here. And that's like definitely a super hard thing, and like it's very scary to me. It definitely put me into like a mode of shock and panic and like anxiety, because I didn't know how to handle everything. Like it was all so scary, like it was all so new, and like I wanted to be happy here and everything, but honestly I'm just now starting to become happier here living in Florida. Like it's beautiful, the beach is just down the street. I mean, there are nice people here, I have an amazing church, but like I left a lot of things, and that was really hard for me. Starting in a new school, since I've been doing online for the last year, and like I hadn't had that interaction with my peers as much, it was definitely a really big change. Very scary, because a lot of people haven't come up to me and said like, hey, I'm Bob, you know, nice to meet you. I kind of just sit in class, a couple people talk to me, or like my neighbor that goes to my school, she'll come sit with me and talk to me, but like I don't have, you know, a bunch of friends there. And I mean, granted, I've only gone there 8 days, and so I don't expect to have a best friend now. But the fact that people haven't come up and said hi to me is definitely kind of hard. Like, I wonder, you know, why aren't people talking to me? Why aren't people saying hi to me? And this kind of all like put me into more of a spiral of like, did I make the right choice with moving? Did I make the right choice going to public school? Did I make the right choice to move to this exact town? And like, this all kind of just threw me off. But I've learned, like, in talking to my friends from home and in a lot of self-care things I've been doing, I've been learning to become happier, like with my situation, with myself, with the people I have around me, because it definitely is a challenge to adjust to a new place, and it can really make you unhappy. Like I was unhappy, and I didn't want my parents to know, because I didn't want them to think I wasn't grateful for us moving. I didn't want them to think I hated it here. I didn't want them to think I was upset. But like I was unhappy. I didn't have friends. I didn't, like, you know, it's just weird. And I would just go to bed, because I didn't really know what else to do. I'd just go home to bed and I'd watch TV or something, because I wasn't happy. But after I've been practicing self-care, I've been talking to my friends from home, and I'm making friends with my neighbor. Things are definitely kind of clearing up, and I'm becoming happier, because I'm realizing that happiness isn't just about the things that you have. It's all about the things that you allow yourself to feel. Like happiness doesn't just come from things you can hold. Happiness comes from things that you feel, things that you see, things that you do. So like me, I'm becoming happier because I'm hanging out with someone, and like, yes, that's something I actually have, but it's also like I'm mentally allowing myself to open up and be willing to make new friends and to talk to new people. And like going to my new church, that definitely is something that's really helpful for me, because I'm having connections there. I'm joining church team, and I'm just doing all these different kinds of things to make myself happier. And then starting at school, like I'm making myself happier there, because I'm trying to branch out and talk to new people and everything, which is really hard for me because I'm kind of an ambivert. Basically, then also having like been going to church and everything, my church, we've been learning about contentment and being content with what we have. And if we don't have Jesus, we're never gonna be content. And I've been really trying to just work on things that I can change and I can have control over, rather than like, I can't control if someone comes and talks to me in class. If they come up to me and, you know, we're in English and they're like, hey, I'm Bob, like, what's your name? Okay. but I can't make Bob come up and say hi to me. Like, that's not up to me, that's up to Bob. Like, just because Bob doesn't talk to me doesn't mean I'm a bad person. Doesn't mean that I'm unlovable, or that people don't like me, or that I don't belong in the class or at the school. It just means that Bob doesn't want to talk. And, like, realizing that has made me so much happier. Like, I'm not sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, Bob hates me, Bob doesn't want me here, Bob thinks I'm dumb, Bob thinks I'm ugly. Because honestly, Bob might not even know I exist. He can't hate me if he doesn't know I exist. And, like, that's something I've really been needing to realize and, like, not, you know, linger over. And if they don't know me, they're not gonna dislike me, they're not gonna like me, they're just gonna, I'm just a person there. What my point here is just, like, if you're wanting to become happier, you need to sit here and learn to be content with the things that you do have. And, like, you need to not let things you can't control determine your happiness. Like, you can't control people talk to you, don't let that make you upset. You can't control what people think of you, don't let that make you upset. You can't control what people say to you, don't let that make you upset. There are so many things you don't have control over. And if you don't have control over them, stop trying to control them. Like, you can't control them. And if you can't control it, then stop trying to. Like, there are things you have no say over. You have no say over what Bob thinks of you. If Bob thinks you're nasty because, like, you pick your nose in class, stop picking your nose. I mean, that's a bad example, because don't pick your nose. Like, if you're gonna pick it, don't pick it in class. But, like, if Bob doesn't like you because he thinks that you're annoying, that sucks. Like, whatever. Sucks for Bob. He's missing out on a gem. But, like, if there's something you can't control, stop. Fix the things that you can control. Fix the people you hang around with. If the people you're with make you unhappy, stop hanging out with them. If the activities you're in don't make you happy, drop out of the activities. If your lifestyle isn't something you're happy about, like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing with your life, stop doing it. But, like, don't let these things that you can't control make you unhappy. And that's really just important for me right now, as I had been kind of unhappy with moving, just leaving so many things behind. Like, I was unhappy for a while. I was very lonely, but I'm learning to see there are people around me that do want to talk to me and do want to hang out with me, and that's really, like, what's going to make me happy. Seeing that there are good things, instead of looking at the bad things, looking at the good things, and, like, realizing that not everything is in a bad place, and, like, not everyone hates you. And that might just seem really random, but I really just wanted to come on and say that, like, there are a lot of things that we let overtake our minds. Like, we let ourselves be so upset over small things. Like, you know, if Jimmy doesn't like you, like, if Jimmy came up to me and said, hey, I don't like you, I would probably sit there for the rest of the day and be like, why doesn't Jimmy like me? What's wrong with me? What should I change? Like, what does Jimmy like? But honestly, who gives, like, a care if Jimmy likes me? Who's Jimmy? Jimmy is irrelevant. Jimmy is Jimmy, and Jimmy needs to run out. Like, Jimmy is not part of our problem here. But, you know, if Cheryl comes up and like Cheryl says, hey, I like you, great, talk to Cheryl. Let that person make you happy. But if something's not making you happy, push it out of your life. You don't need things to make you unhappy. There are already so many things in this world that we can't control that are going to make us unhappy. If there's something you can control, if there's a toxic person, if there's a toxic event, if there's a toxic feeling like friendship, push it out of your life to become happier. Like, if you're not happy with where you are, go somewhere else. If you feel like you don't, you know, if you're living in a place that you don't like and you're able to move, move. Like, and it's going to be really hard at first, but just go for it. Like, just do things to make you happy. That's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go watch Friends because I'll be there for you. Cause you're there for me too. Alright, good night. That was super weird.